Hi! So we have this new video because I'm going to connect it with the video that I uploaded a few hours ago. So let's talk about flying nighttime. Okay, flying nighttime is what they call in commercial aviation. It's called, yes, that's correct, red eye flight. Red eye meaning pulang mata. Okay, so let's go direct to the content. So what does red eye flight mean? Red eye flight is a flight that flies in the evening and then reach your destination the next morning. So essentially, it is a flight that you take uh, on the time that you are usually sleeping, like the typical sleeping cycle. And then most of the red eye flights leave at 9 in the evening or sometimes later, and then arrive in their destination around 5 or 6 or 7 in the morning, the next morning. Typically when you book in online, sometimes you will see say for example it's 5 a.m. plus 1. It says it means that you are leaving your origin point of origin on the day, and then you reach the destination plus 1 day, meaning on the calendar day. So typically those are in the evening, and of course for Filipinos, you are very well familiar with this, especially with Cebu Pacific and Philippine Airlines. Although of course there are some flights that are flown in the morning or flown in the mid afternoon, midday, and then late afternoon. But at least for me, in my experience, most of the flights that I have taken for Cebu Pacific and Philippine Airlines, there are all red-eye flights. Now, the question is, mas mura ba ang red-eye flight? Typically, oo, sabi sa mga websites na nakita ko. Actually, tumitingin na ako ngayon. So, red-eye flights are cheaper than flights in other times because less daw ang air traffic. And then, people usually do not take these flights because, di ba, mahirap nga namang matulog, no? Mahirap matulog while flying with all the anxiety, and di ba, although some people are really comfortable sleeping on the plane. Okay. So how do we prepare for how to take advantage of the red eye flights? So there are several suggestions here, but I will be just giving about 3. Number 1 is, especially if you really want to sleep away your flights, make sure you to take a window seat. Why? Kasi ito yung seat na walang dadaan sa'yo. Walang makikidaan sa'yo just for them to go to the toilet or to get their bags or whatever. So you can sleep your flight until you reach the destination. So walang mangi-istorbo. Although syempre pag ikaw naman kailangan mo punta ng toilet, kailangan mo mang-istorbo ng ibang pasahero. I usually do not like window seats because when I go to the toilet, o kaya minsan titiis mo yung urge to go to the toilet only because nahihiya ka kasi natutulog yung nasa middle seat o yung nasa aisle seat. Now, next is, sabi dito, bring sleeping essentials. Now, if you know that your flight, basically you know kasi ikaw naman nag-book, or sometimes you'll see the ticket, di ba? So you bring sleep essentials, like for example, you can bring yung neck pillow so that it will be more comfortable, or even perhaps sometimes some people would bring real throw pillows, yung mga maliliit, so that they can use them for sleeping because you want to sleep, right? And then, so sabi dito, if you can, kung kaya, although sometimes we are in the mercy of the schedule of the airline, kung kaya, take a later flight. Say for example, wag kang kumuha ng 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Try to take a 10 o'clock onwards flight so that you can, talagang aantukin ka kasi. So, wala kang problema. Pero sometimes gigisingin ka rin for meals, especially kung yung booking mo has meals, no? Gigisingin ka, or sometimes mas excited kang kumain ng airline meal. Although alam mo na, minsan hindi masarap or minsan hindi yung preferred meal mo, no? Pero madami na mas mga nag-experience ko na masarap yung food. Once again, red eye flight refers to travelers having red eyes because of sleeplessness or tired passengers or fatigue, passengers who experience fatigue while flying. um, Meron din for my research, I also learned that there is another type of flight. Ang tawag is black eye flight, although this refers not to the passengers but it refers to the flight attendants. A black eye flight refers to a flight attendant who has taken or nag-duty siya uh, on a red eye flight and then pahinga ng konti and then will take the next flight out in the daytime. So siguro black eye, kaya siguro pagod na or probably because medyo blackish na yung dito niya or dark. Okay, so those are things that are good to know when we fly, when we travel. Remember that one of the best things that traveling gives us is education. We learn a lot, of course, informally. We learn a lot about culture. We learn about language of other people. We also learn about even the procedures. Say for example, procedures sa airlines, procedures sa immigration, procedures sa bookings, dealing with crew, flight crew, dealing with airport crew, and of course we have to remember that we have to be good. We have to deal with them the best way we can. Kasi passenger, kung passenger tayo at pagod, sila din siguradong pagod. Anyway, that's all for today. So let's remember that whenever you take the evening flight or the midnight flight, we call that as red eye flight. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you again.